Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show.
Hello and welcome back to the Roguecast, 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, wow. Is it 2 weeks in a row?
Yes.
It's a record.
We have had a little bit of craziness here. We continue to have craziness. Yesterday, Dave and I worked late to get the comics on the shelves for you people. Yeah. We hope you appreciate it.
It was a lot.
That's right.
It was an intense last 2 hours of trying to get things done to make sure we could do the podcast.
We've just hit some shipping things.
See what we do for you people? Do you see how much the love that we give?
Are we the
you never call.
We're the
you never write.
Actually, we'll say they showed up on Free Comic Book
Yes,
Day.
and they do call. Actually, people call all the time.
They do call all the time.
Part of the reason we're tired is, as Nick noted, Free Comic Book Day, which was a very successful year for us. We had a great Free Comic Day, and
literally the best day in the source history.
Yes, and I think everybody had a good time too. It was we always talk about the good energy on those days because we get to see a lot of familiar faces. We have stuff to give away. This year, as a cool little surprise to everyone, our co-worker, Jeanette, made a Jeff the Land Shark plushie, essentially life-size for Jeff, which is to say, the size of a good-sized dog.
Yep.
And, she did a great job on it.
It was beloved. People loved it.
Yeah, we had him at the back at the table, free comic book tables with us, where people could admire and pet him.
Yep.
And she had even gotten some little shark stickers so that anybody who pet him or professed their Jeff love early on for about the first hour or two got a little sticker.
And Dave fell in love with Jeff.
I fell in love with Jeff. I was already in love with Jeff.
But yeah, that was a big hit. Jeanette was also wearing a magic costume. Didn't quite manage to get there because of Jeff, and I think having Jeff was a good thing.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, we gave it a bunch of comics. We sold a bunch of stuff. I really appreciate everybody coming out as always. Yeah. It was a great day.
Yeah, and crazy busy. Nick, right after you left, second surge.
Yeah, we had another wave this year. But also, as always, if anything's left, we keep it for the next year's.
Yeah.
But the two Marvel offerings this year were both new. They're both premises of, or the teasers of Queen in Black,
Armageddon,
Weapons of Armageddon, or Avengers Armageddon.
New X-Men story.
There's also a new X-Men story. There's an Infernal Hulk story, and there's a Spider-Man story. I think.
So we have queued some of those up on our new comics wall, so that anybody who's just making a purchase, if you want, can if you missed it.
So yeah, if you missed it and you come in, make sure and grab those for if you're interested in Marvel stuff.
Cool little lead into all things Marvel.
We did sell out of the Energon, but the Image Skybound always does a for sale version,
and we'll talk about that when we get to comics.
All right, sure.
And by the way, the big hit this year, though, as far as the Buzz books, was I think Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yes, it was. It's going for crazy money online because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. You've probably heard us talk about this series, but it's just this was the reprinting a portion of what's going to be a graphic novel in a few weeks.
It reprints the first 10 pages. It's on Webtoon.
Yeah.
It's going to be a graphic novel. On May 20th, the graphic novel will come out. Also, I didn't realize this. I think at the same time, there's an original Carl graphic novel featuring the Crocodilian, whatever his name is. Florin. With art by Brett Bean.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who did Dork.
Who did Dork.
Another breakout book
and
recently.
Also some commissions lately that he's been doing of DC
that we all
characters
loved.
that are pretty amazing.
If you're not following him on the social medias, check him out. Look for the recent image he did of Swamp Thing with John Constantine, and a very cool Carrie Kelly Robin.
Yeah,
the Constantine, really I liked his little spiky hair.
Yeah. A lot of times he has his 80s spiky hair still sometimes.
Because he was modeled on Sting.
Yep. Yeah. I was relating that anecdote just the other day.
Yep.
It's one of those fun ones to know, and although it's kind of out there, but Sting is not. That's I guess let's see, Sting's heyday was what, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Let's say about 40 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
So this would have been when I was growing up in the 80s, if somebody had told me, this character is made to look like a guy from the 1940s.
Yes.
This looks like Jimmy Durante. And I'm I really like the Thing now.
We did experience that from watching Looney Tunes cartoons.
That's true. They bombarded us with pop culture decades old.
Yep. The next big event for us is Free RPG Day, which is coming up in about a month. And also worth noting, if you have kiddos, The Summer Reading Challenge enters its fourth year this year.
Yes.
There's you pick 5 graphic novels on the list, you read them, you write a 1-sentence thing, you get a cool grab bag thing that Serena puts together, lovingly crafts every year.
Yep.
The first 10 kids in get a $10 gift coin. I think we've only given one out so far, but I'm not positive.
I think it's maybe a few more than that.
Oh, okay.
I think it could be as high as 3 or 4.
Okay, all right. But there are up to 10. So.
Yeah, there's always a few real dedicated readers each year.
There was one kid who came back the same day.
They're like primed for it. Yeah.
The hustlers.
They're hustlers. That said, we still got some. Also, like, it's always just a cool experience. We put their name up on the Summer Reading Challenge wall. When you do come in, we have a packet that basically tells you all the stuff you need to know. So you just pick up the packet.
Yep, indeed. All right, board games for the week. We got a game called Torchlit that is I want to say it's a trick-taking game where your adventurers choosing the right dungeon to go into to find the best spoils.
Okay.
So your Torchlit is the torch you have going into a dungeon.
Okay.
This was a big hit at Dice Tower West. It's one of the small games that All Play makes.
Oh yeah.
Also, a small game is a game called French Toast, where one player is the Toastmaster, drawing a secret word that you and your friends have to guess, but the Toastmaster can only communicate by repeating your guesses back to you. Each time someone makes a guess, the Toastmaster decide which one is closer to their secret word than the closest previous guess.
So if somebody
if the new
said,
guess is closer, the Toastmaster repeats it back to you. If it isn't closer, they repeat the closest previous guess instead.
Interesting.
So it's like, Dave, our thing we were joking about that's the flip side of that equation.
Yeah. So what are the words? Like, what were they?
It's a word.
A word. So let's just say it was car.
Yep.
Or whatever, and somebody said car, and then I would either repeat it back.
I mean, if you said car, I think they'd just go, yeah, that's it. But if the secret word was car, and
I meant like if that was the guess,
and someone said tires,
right?
You'd say tires back to them,
right?
And if someone else said flamingo, you'd say tires again.
I see.
Although if someone said flamingo after you said tires, they're a psychopath.
This is going to be one of those where it's going to make sense to you all playing, sort of.
Yep.
But somebody hearing it would think these are a bunch of insane people.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that. I like that.
It looks like a fun little party game.
Yeah.
We got Catan Zip, which is a bag. You can take Catan as like a little bag. It's like a little... it's got 50 maps, it says, so it's like some kind of like small portable version of Catan.
Oh, cool.
Final Girl, the hit solo game, has a new expansion called The Green, wherein the Volcar, the alien killer hiding in Pesadilla Verde, is hunting its prey, and its prey are soldiers that the Final Girl can order to move, attack, and complete their actions. And if you're thinking, hey, that sounds kind of like Predator, that's right, it's Predator.
Yep. Yes, the Final Girl series has done a great job of adapting all these iconic sort of now tropey horror themes. So you know it's very easy to see, oh, this is The Thing, this is Hellraiser, this is Friday the 13th, etc., etc. And Predator sounds cool. They always try and like, I know you know what somebody told me about the other day? She said she had gotten one that she wouldn't have, not her choice of horror styles, but the game was fun because it's a home invasion one. You know, one of those creepy masks home invasion things.
Yeah.
But apparently there's like a crafting mechanic. So it's like, oh, I got the knife from the kitchen and I got this from somewhere else, and I can build like a spring-loaded stabbing thing or whatever. And apparently that's actually very fun. So yeah, these games are cool, and I guess now the mechanic in this one is going to involve controlling the soldiers.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means because there's a final girl in it, would you be playing some version of the woman who traveled with the Predator crew?
Maybe so.
You
I don't know.
who they kind of rescued from.
Is she? She's not. Isn't Arnold's the final girl? He survives.
But so does she.
So
does she. Yeah.
He's the final bro.
I mean, and I'm not gonna. I'm sure they don't mirror it exactly, but I guess basically what I was wondering is your final girl also a soldier in this one?
I don't know.
Like, are you playing the Arnold role, or is she like a civilian caught in the middle of it?
I don't know.
Answer some questions, Randy.
I don't know, Dave.
I think both of those sound like fun possibilities, and I imagine the game plays with stuff like that.
This is something, Dave, I think that might be of interest to you if you need new RPGs, which you don't, probably.
Probably not, but what do we got?
It's called Tainted Grail. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. It's like a dark Arthurian thing.
It's Song of a Dying World, introduced you to a ruthless, melancholic universe inspired by Arthurian legends as well as Celtic culture and folklore. So after a
And
cataclysm,
I'm going to guess Dark Souls and
your
Elden Ring.
last survivors of humanity after a cataclysm, wandering the mysterious island of Avalon, the weirdness, and the colossal four dwellers. So
like a fully apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic Arthurian myth, yeah.
Okay, that sounds kind of cool.
It uses a customized version of a system that was developed for an awarded French TTRPG.
Okay.
And adapted to include elements specific to the Tainted Grail board games, which are a thing that exist apparently.
Okay.
So this is a whole property I knew nothing about, but we got the quick start set and the core rulebook of that.
You know, I actually went to my doctor a few months ago because I had a Tainted Grail. And he just gave me some penicillin, and I'm okay.
That was that song from the 80s, Tainted Grail.
Yes. One of the many Arthurian pop songs of the 80s.
Yeah, Madonna's third album is all Arthurian.
That's right.
Like a Prayer is actually about the Grail.
Yes. And Like a Virgin is about the questing beast.
Like a Virgin about the questing beast. And then finally we got Whispers of the Woods, which is a minimalist RPG. GM-less, possibly play solo. You fill the shoes of an 18th century villagers on a journey into the dark woods.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
I kind of like its like extreme simplicity, and yet it sounds also very vague. I'm curious how that works.
There are Whispers of the Woods, Dave.
Okay.
And then finally on Friday we will have Riftbound, the League of Legends card game.
Yep.
We will have the original Origin set back in, and we'll have the new set Unleashed.
Cool.
A limited amount, probably. So, all right, let's talk comics of the week. It is a big, giant week.
Yep.
It is weird. We were saying about this kind of odd that they put all this stuff out the week after Free Comic Book Day instead of the week of Free Comic Book Day. But
you know, it sort of makes sense because, in a way, it's easiest on that day to kind of point people to graphic novels rather than single issues.
Well, there are also a bazillion graphic novels this week.
Right.
It's weird that they didn't hit any of these before, but
they can't schedule anything, right?
I guess
Nobody
it is hard to schedule
knows how
things.
to schedule things.
All right, let's start with the surprise pick of the week for Dave, and the one I knew was sure going to be a pick of mine.
Yeah.
Civil War Unmasked. Nick, did you get a chance to read this?
I did.
So this is Christos Gage, who recently did that Battle World miniseries that about 10 people read.
Yep.
I was one of them.
But you liked it.
I loved it.
I read enough of it before I missed an issue that I liked it quite a bit too.
I say Christos Gage is the modern day John Ostrander. Never misses. Does some unusual stuff and is underrated.
He's also, like I would say, one of those people who seems to be additive.
Yes,
he'll take some interesting lore and he'll build on it, and he's like also never subtractive.
Right,
he never is going to go and ruin a character.
And in this, he takes a crossover that is beloved in kind of like the broader strokes.
Yeah,
but on
never
the
clicked
whole,
for us.
The Miller story is just kind of
Well, I think
this is the 20th anniversary of the original Marvel Civil War is going on right now.
Dave, you came into this very skeptical. You're like, why would I read a Civil War book? And I was like, no, you should read it because of Christos Gage.
Actually, you know why I read it?
Why?
It was because it was a Bishop story, and I just wanted to see if by chance that I could. Bishop is a character I like in principle, but I just haven't read many cool stories.
I see. So my opinion doesn't even matter.
Not really, no.
What this is a series of one shots, kind of feeding into different aspects of why Civil War
lost stories.
Yeah, so this is why Tony basically
why he went so hardcore for registration.
Yeah. And tying that into Bishop and Days of Future Past, the way they do it is very clever and a good story.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? Obviously this doesn't particularly matter to you if you always loved Civil War or whatever, but for those of us who weren't that into it, when the prequels came out, Star Wars prequels, I was like, these have some cool ideas, but obviously the writing and a lot of the sort of staging of it was very iffy.
Yeah.
Then suddenly along comes like Gennady Tartakovsky with the Clone Wars shorts, and those, and then of course all of the Dave Filoni animated stuff, and it sort of finds what could be really cool in the Clone Wars era. I feel like this is a promising version of something like that for Civil War. If the subsequent issues hold up and don't stink.
I don't think it will. I think Christos Gage just puts in a lot of thought.
I really like this issue. It's a cool. I like standalone issues for one thing, with a good done-in-one story.
I still don't like the Superhero Registration Act. I think that was silly.
And it made sense as a reader, on a meta level.
I hear your reticence.
On a meta level, it made sense because, obviously, look how well it did.
Yeah,
and Marvel made a good movie out of it too.
Yep. That's true.
But it's funny because in the comics, always everybody from Iron Man to Cap was really always kind of like, none of them were like toe the line, law and order, or follow the rules or else guys. That's just not who they have ever been.
Yep.
And so it was weird to see Iron Man in that position. And, I think most fans just thought it was like, well, it's a dramatic story. Don't worry too much about it. I know that's how Mark Miller approached it. But this actually did a pretty cool job of suggesting an additional reason why he might have been the way he was.
I definitely do recommend
why Iron Man was such a doo-doo head.
And he is.
Marvel has a few one-shots this week. Star Wars Rogue One. This is going to be a series of one-shots, at least 2 of them.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of Rogue One.
It is the 10th anniversary.
Yep.
This is a one-shot about Cassian Andor, which sort of takes place between the end of the Andor series and the beginning of Rogue One. Sort of getting into, him on a mission, whether or not he's ruthless enough, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So is it more Rogue One than Andor?
Yes.
Okay.
It's art by Luke Ross. It's pretty pretty.
But it's hard to be honest, I would never expect anything to really, honestly, even attempt Andor.
Yeah.
It does feel like
it kind of needs breathing room and all that.
It does feel like it's trying to be a little bit more Andor than it is, because they definitely reference things that happen in Andor.
Yeah. We got Jubilee. I think some of these might be digital first.
Yep.
Jubilee Deadly Reunion. This is in their Voices line, celebrating AAPI Heritage Month. But Jubilee is a beloved character.
Yep.
This features her and Nightcrawler and some other characters in the sort of New Orleans setting. It's written by Jean Lin Yang, who I always like his stuff. And it has her going to Chinatown in San Francisco on a mysterious mission.
Well, I thought I heard New Orleans in there.
She starts in New Orleans because she's a member of.
Why would you live there? They got good po' boys.
Well, she lives there. She can get boys whenever she wants.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Really nice art on this one. There's a great double-page spread of her using her powers. That is pretty cool. But yeah, it's if you're a Jubilee fan, she gets her own little spotlight.
But in the end, does she return to the land of beignets?
Yeah, she goes back to the land of beignets.
Thank God.
That was a ride.
I knew that this was even though it's a one shot. It's like a story, kind of a family thing.
Yeah,
family in distress.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool idea.
And then we've got Astonishing Miles Morales Spider-Man: The Art of Thwip. A long title. James Stadium will be proud.
Yep.
And this is
Something is Killing the Art of Thwip.
This is a Miles Morales one shot.
Yep.
With a lot of characters I don't know. He's got a clone brother now. And
what?
Girlfriend. Yep.
Who?
Yep. He's called Shift.
It's interesting. I don't think they intended it this way, but this and Jubilee, when I was making signs for it, and I don't know how much this was true, but they said it was kind of a little bit more of his personal life and school life and stuff in there, and flipping through it kind of looked like it was. And so it seems like both these stories might have gotten just a little bit more into their personal sides than just there's a new adventure.
Yeah. DC Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion. This is the sequel to the DC Sonic.
Popular.
We got those connecting variants. They reprinted 1 through 5 on Free Comic Book Day, which is very smart of them.
Yep.
And we sold almost all of them. In fact, I think we have one of half of them now.
Listen, I don't have any feelings whatsoever towards Sonic.
Me neither.
And I was like, I felt vaguely impelled to buy them because they look so cool together.
This series is delightful.
And I did read the previous one, and I liked it.
It was a ton of fun. This one, now that they had that in the meetup, somehow there are permanent gates between their world and the DC world.
Yep.
So now all these things
Is there a name for his world?
Sonic's
Hedgehogia?
World. It's called Sonic's World.
Okay.
It's right here in the little caption.
There we go.
So you have Flash and Sonic racing. And Amy dropping in on Paradise Island.
Oh, that's cool. So they can interact and just chill.
Superman and Knuckles. He introduces them to Crypto and Supergirl. Who's this guy? Silver is up on the Watchtower and is talking crap about Guy Gardner, which is kind of funny.
Yep. Brandon, let me throw out a real quick crazy idea.
Sure.
Nothing to do with this particular series or whatever, but you know how in the 80s Marvel did some properties like Godzilla, Micronauts, ROM,
Yep.
and they were other licenses, but they took them seriously and they were actually canon in the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
What if?
Nope.
What if?
Nope.
What if?
So I will say, this is written by Ian Flynn, longtime Sonic writer, He is basically he is the writer of Sonic as far as a lot of people are concerned.
Right, and it seems like he's 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 going to do right by the Sonic characters,
but he does right by the DC ones too.
Yeah, it seems like all of those ideas were pretty cool.
But
if they were canonical, then I could finally see Shadow meet John Constantine in a mature reader's book in which they kiss.
It's coming. It's the next DC Black Label.
The thing I really like about this is that the first one was Darkseid.
Yes.
And this time they have the guys behind it, which Batman has already figured out.
Yep.
And he's working with Shadow on this. But it's
It's a team up of
Lex Luthor and Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman.
Yeah,
right?
Eggman. But Dr. Robotnik is his name.
Is that his thing?
It's
Okay.
Robotnik.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know these things.
Yeah. Anyway, super fun, even if you're at best a casual Sonic fan, and I'm at best a casual. I've seen a couple of the movies because my kid liked them. That's about it.
Yep.
There's a one-shot, a lot of one-shots this week. Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, Guy Gardner has the great cover copy, Hero-tastic Problematic. Nick, I know you're a Guy Gardner fan number one. Did you get a chance to read this?
I did not get a chance to read it.
What?
You're like, I spit on you, Guy Gardner.
Apparently you're Guy Gardner fan number 2 or 3 then.
Maybe he's more of a Kilowog guy now.
But anyway, this is a Guy Gardner one-shot for those who think he's the best Green Lantern.
Yep. Or find him, love to hate him.
Love to hate him. Also good at that.
I was trying to think. He, Damien. There's a number of characters that fulfill those roles.
Mm-hmm. One of the, I think, the most requested books this week. I again wish we had requests before the orders had gone in. A relaunch of Ben 10, the animated series by Man of Action Studios, which includes comic mainstays Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, Steven Seagal, and Duncan Rouleau, who all did a bunch of comics in the 90s.
Yeah. Right. And did one of these guys work on the animated thing back when?
They are the creators of the animated series.
Oh, really? All of them?
Yes. Man of Action Studios is their name. They are the ones who did Ben 10.
Oh, that's wild.
And so this is Joe Casey coming back to write this. So it is very much when Whedon came back to Buffy for comics, or...
Yeah.
But I will say, this is a retelling.
Oh, is it a retelling? It's not
because this is when Ben gets the actual.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that it's like they're like camping or something like that, and he gets.
I never watched this animated.
I've never seen it either.
I always thought that the visual designs look cool, and making the sign, I learned that he has a cool device that allows him to turn into different aliens, and I guess but I don't know who's fighting really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
other aliens, I bet.
His family is involved, so it's got a little bit of an avatar. He's got like his father and sister, and I don't know. There's some cool trappings. It looks like a fun.
This is a big. In fact, I believe we are already out of the cover A. Yeah. Just at the variant covers. We do have more coming, but this was one of the big hits of the week.
I'll be curious to hear from people who are fans. Like, do they change a lot? Is it just kind of a slight rethink? What's its deal? Let us know.
The Energon Universe 2026 special, as Nick alluded to, this is their. They always do sort of big things in these. Their original properties, their original stories. They will wind up in the trades, but it introduces Mask.
Yep.
It has a Transformer story that is very mysterious and interesting and really nice art.
Yep.
It has a Void Rival story that I think brings another notable thing. Yeah, pretty notable stuff.
Some notable Transformer stuff.
And then
I should read this.
And then there's. Did you not read this?
Nope.
And then there's a G.I. Joe, which gets into a pretty notable character too.
Thing.
Yep. There are 3 different covers. There was only 1 cover on the Free Comic Book Day one, but we do have a couple variant covers. Yep. And if you want to see what's up with the Energon Universe, I think we all. Yeah. Nick and I recommend it. Dave hadn't read it,
but I will say that one of the smartest things about the whole Energon Universe thing is that they clearly planned it really carefully in advance, to some degree, so that as a franchise that they would be bringing in big new creators like Kirkman himself taking over on Transformers, that they would be punctuated with sort of big reveals and notable crossovers and stuff like that. So, if you're ever thinking, things are getting a little slow, and it's suddenly, now the Quintessons are here, or now Cobra is doing this with this Transformers technology or whatever, or something new and cool has been introduced. And to that end, the Free Comic Book Day specials have always been surprisingly, it's surprising how good they are and how notable they are. Most Free Comic Book Day stuff is frankly previews or sort of best of sort of stories or even just excerpts. But this is actually new material that's
pretty
notable.
Important.
Yeah, it's actually important.
Yep. Another weird book from Matthew Rosenberg at Image called If Destruction Be Our Lot. The star is a robotic Abraham Lincoln.
And I gather that is a quote possibly from like the Gettysburg Address or one of those.
It is. He's trying to give the whole address. So it is a world full of robots, a lot of them beat up and broken, and clearly the human race has died out, and these robots are kind of like going about their business
From
and
what I
have
can
built
tell,
a society.
it's not the robots killed them. Or
No, this
they don't
happened.
get
It just
into
happened.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a bunch of different robots in different shapes, including like traffic robots. One that's a full-on bus. Its character.
They seem to have personality.
They do.
They do.
And yeah, they're sort of like just trying to get by in a sort of post-apocalyptic world.
And this Abraham Lincoln gets a lot of crap because he looks like a human.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it like basically one of those Hall of Presidents robots?
Yes, I think
Seems
so,
that
something
way.
like that.
Like an updated or a fancy version of
Yeah.
that?
It seems that way, yes.
She Spawn, number 1. I know what you're thinking. You guys never talk about Spawn, and there's a reason, because we don't like Spawn. I don't think I hate Spawn. It's just not for me.
Listen,
I will
all
say-
of us had our Spawn days.
We did.
I was
We all
going
had
to say,
Spawn days.
we all had
And if you
Sunstrike.
talked to us in 1992 or whatever, we probably were like tracking down Spawn.
I think the big thing for this
but it's not
is-
our thing.
This
Gail.
is written by Gail Simone,
Yep.
doing the female Spawn with art by Iguara, and I really enjoyed this as a sort of dumb metalhead thing. That's kind of what Spawn is.
Yep.
I thought it was kind of fun, and the twist at the end was like a pretty good twist where I'm like, oh, I'll come back for a second issue of this.
It's a group of characters from the Spawn universe
Yep.
that are sort of the most like over the top, like metal crush your kill anything that gets in their way.
Well, that's the Scorched, right? That's her group.
Oh, yeah.
But this is Jessica Priest, who's
Yes.
She-Spawn.
Yeah.
There's the Redeemer.
But they're barely in it. They're really in it for like the first 4
they're-
pages.
And they show back up.
It's her solo story. Do they show back up?
At some point, they
okay.
they do.
I was gonna say they haven't in this issue.
I think they will be important.
Okay.
Is she a person who... Does she run the Scorched?
Yes.
She just seems to be sort of the leader. Yes.
So this is probably like if you did like a Storm solo book and periodically some of the X-Men team would show up
Yeah.
in it.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was a fun issue.
It was fun. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
y'all told me about like the kind of... There's a sort of a neat reveal at the end and I was like, oh, that's pretty clever.
Lady Mechanika, the one of the most popular steampunk comics there is, returns for another new miniseries.
I understand it's about a amusement park of death or something like that.
Is this still
All right.
Joe Bennett?
Joe Benitez, yep.
Or Benitez,
New
yes.
new writer, I think.
Okay.
Madeline Holly Rosing. I
that's
don't
right.
think that's a name I know.
Yeah, I think I read that when I was making the sign.
Another Red Sonja number 1. They've done a lot of these. It's by our writer Rory McConville. Don't know who that is. Art's nice as always. You either know if you're in for another Red Sonja or you aren't.
Yep.
Mad Cave has a book called Dog Tag, which is by Mark Russell, who I always like Mark Russell's stuff.
Yep.
The premise on this is really interesting to me. He is it's in right before the D-Day invasion, and there's a soldier who is a reporter and a editorial cartoonist. He works at the Stars and Stripes, the official newspaper of the, and he gets assigned a job to basically go to this base and pretend like they're preparing for an invasion so that the Nazis do not figure out the invasion is coming to Normandy. They call it the Ghost Army. So he's basically, there's like balsa wood planes and inflatable tanks.
Oh, yeah.
And
we were trying to decide earlier if this was a real thing or not because we're not World War II buffs.
Yeah.
And I think it is because, Randy, here's a weird connection to G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Do you remember when there was at the U.S. Mint, Cobra used little model balsa planes and stuff like that to fake stage it? Because basically perspective is lost when you're on the ground or can be bad.
You think that was a nod?
I believe they actually mention in it, Larry Hama had a character say, they used this in World War II
It
for
is 100% a real thing.
Okay.
The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, known as the Ghost Army, was a top secret unit that used inflatable tanks, sound effects, and radio trickery to deceive German forces.
Wild.
Yep.
Yeah. In the pre-sort of satellite and digital era and drone era, it makes sense that you could do these kind of wilder bluffs.
Anyway.
So this is his take on it.
Fun premise with
his telling of it.
a really interesting point of view character. And
like a miniseries?
That's a miniseries, yeah. I really enjoyed it. I don't know where they're going, because the first issue ends with the invasion's Normandy's over.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where they're going to go from here. I'm curious to see. But yeah, and the reason it's called Dog Tag, you'll find out in the second half of the issue.
Okay.
Dark Horse has been doing Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novels for a long time. This is their first single-issue version of it. It's a 3-parter called the Kyoshi Warriors, which are the all-female warriors who were proteges of the Airbender Kyoshi.
Yep.
Or not Airbender, the Avatar Kyoshi.
Okay. This is 3-parter, like 3 issues?
3 issues.
Okay.
This is they're sort of young teen girls before they become the Kyoshi Warriors we meet in the show. This is prior to that. They are going to a temple. They go to this Earth Force general who tells them, "Oh yeah, you can join us, but you can't wear your makeup and stuff. You got to join up with the army and just be part of the army."
That kind of kabuki makeup,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I forget on the last Airbender show, they were kind of badasses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here they are sort of like they're getting by the reputation of the Kyoshi Warriors, but
they're not.
Nobody really knows. Well, they have the skills, but nobody really trusts them yet.
I see.
And so this is going to be them sort of like going up against the Fire Nation army with a general who I have a feeling is going to turn out not to be as skilled as she's pretending to be.
Okay.
But yeah, really good first issue. I enjoyed that a lot. And then on to the non-first issue stuff. We have Batman number 9. Nick, did you get a chance to read this?
Yes.
This is, honestly, Matt Fraction's Batman, I think, is my favorite book right now.
It's like every issue has been really good, and I think we talked about this. They're all quite different in tone.
Yep.
This one, I think we could say there's like this massive crackdown happening from Mayor Pamela Isley and Commissioner Vandal Savage. And Batman has like gathered the troops, basically all of his nearest allies, with 1 or 2 notable exceptions, which it's a story point. He's like, we need to get certain items out of these safe houses before these guys take them down. We know it's going to happen in like one night. And he's like, your goal is to get in, don't put yourself at risk, get this stuff out. And it is like, it's almost like a running chase.
It is.
The whole episode.
And with multiple characters. Yep. The Signal, Robin, Batgirl.
The Signal is super cool in this.
What? Is Stephanie Batgirl again? Because she calls her Batgirl.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that. I like Stephanie as Batgirl.
Yep.
There are multiple Batgirls now. There's Cassandra Cain.
I mean, Barbara will put
Gordon.
on the Batgirl costume.
But she's Oracle. Anyway.
But the Signal is one of those characters that he was introduced like, 10, 15 years ago or something like that by Rucka?
I don't like that you're right about how long that's been.
I know, right?
Feels like a new character still, but you're right.
But like he was never particularly notable to me other than I've seen him in 1 or 2 decent stories. Yeah. But he's very cool in this, and I liked him in the mix.
Yep.
And
there's also a little bit with Tim Drake about whether or not heroes can retire, which I thought was really interesting.
Yep.
There's a lot of great car chase stuff. There's a big reveal at the end that I won't give away.
What's the deal with Alfred talking to Batman?
He's holographic Alfred.
It's an AI version.
It is an AI version. Oh.
Which, by the way, I didn't like at first, but I'm really glad that basically Matt Fraction circumvented Tom King's dumb Death of Alfred and gave the character back.
Right. It is.
But this is also like a no-holds-barred Alfred that kind of just says what he thinks.
It's less gentle than the real Alfred would be. It's It's a little bit of a tweak, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I was very skeptical at the beginning.
The sequence with him, I have to say, was really good.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have to slap Bruce a little bit to kind of make him...
In the first issue when he showed up, I believe that was one of my gripes, and you guys were both thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of came around on it.
Yeah.
Did I think it was kind of cool?
You liked it. It was one thing you said you liked.
Not usually much for the digital.
Am I forgetting something? Did they say why Jason and Dick aren't involved in any of this?
I don't think they did.
Is it just that they're out of town?
They may just be out of town.
They're not Gothamites.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that Stephanie is front and center because she's such a great character.
I have a feeling that is it.
Hang on, Jason is Red Hood. Yeah. Man, you don't want him in this situation. He would definitely
that's also
just
true.
immediately start a fight, gunning down
By the way, one of the things I love about this book is Jorge Jimenez's art. Yeah. This one has guest art by Ryan Sook, and it is spectacular.
It is.
I always kind of hate to lose Jimenez on a given issue, but the guest artists are like real good artists. Yep. So
he was busy doing Superman.
What he can't
Spider-Man.
do 30 books a month.
He's not Dan Mora.
That's true. Mora's been crazy.
We got shorted 2 weeks ago on Detective Comics, the Tom Taylor book. So we got those in. We finally, if you missed that issue, we have the second issue of his story arc with Green Arrow and Black Canary and a new mystery hero that they introduced.
This is really good.
I really love this book.
It's a cool story that calls back to like an early team up of theirs and a mystery that they dealt with early in their career when Green Arrow had he's drawn in the outfit that he had in the Silver Age.
Yeah.
Where it's just kind of like the tunic and stuff like that, and where he also was kind of arguably a Batman knockoff, with
Yes.
the Arrow car and all that.
Yep.
But it's even though there's a little bit of discussion of that. This is like a serious mystery, and both the flashbacks and the present day stuff are cool, and they're handled intriguingly. Great art.
And I was going to say, usually this book is by Mikkel Janin. This has guest art by Pete Woods, and again, not a step down. It's really great.
Yep.
I also just love the back and forth between Bruce and
Green Arrow
and Ollie.
It's kind of similar to what happened in Brave and the Bold.
Exactly is what it is. Not as campy, but it reminded me of it in such a way that I was like, "This is a great nod."
I really, really enjoy this book. I mean, Batman books are good right now.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping up with Batgirl, but I know that it is beloved. I think that comes out this week as well.
It does.
And I feel like there's something else that's another Bat book that's doing. I mean, Nightwing. Again, I'm not keeping up because I had Tom Taylor's run,
stuff. And there's like very tangential ones, like Nick, you've been enjoying Poison Ivy,
right?
Yeah, which season
has an issue this week.
That's great.
Does she in that ever at any point think, "Oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't be destroying all the safe houses of Batman"?
I think it's working with Batman, but this is showing kind of what's happening with Pamela and the attacks on all fronts that she's having to sort of kind of fend off.
It is weird to sort of make her a villain again, essentially, because she has been sort of an anti-hero for a long time, and having her work with Vandal Savage is a little bootlicky. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, she's running the show,
but also Vandal Savage, remember, is like he was an eco-terrorist originally. No, that's Ra's al Ghul.
That is,
I'm thinking of Ra's al Ghul.
He's just a world dominator. Now, I do think she probably has an ultimate plan in all of this. And even though she has kind of become more of an anti-hero type person, I think she is still like, would I kill everybody in the world to let the plant life grow? Probably. Yeah. Except for Harley.
I think she's less on that. I think she's just tired of corruption and the people who keep causing all the chaos.
What a crazy fantasy world problem.
Because
I don't know how to relate to that.
She literally kills a lot of people as mayor.
Yeah, actually, when I was... did you say as mayor?
Yeah, right, as she's killing people.
Are they innocent people?
No, they're usually CEOs.
Yeah, okay. So when I have read several volumes of this series by the same writer, right?
G. Will Wilson.
G. Will Wilson. And, they both, like, humanize her over time and have her find people who are kind of exceptions to her... her views of humanity and things like that.
But that series started out with her releasing a virus that was going to kill humanity.
Yep. And she is hardcore in it. And if you do get in her way, she will Last of Us you. She'll leave you like a horrible monstrosity fungus thing.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Several second issues this week, all of which I really enjoyed. Royals #2. I talked about this last time. I just want to mention again. It is about telepathic brothers running an ill-advised con in a poker game against a criminal, and as you might guess from the second issue, this is where they get caught.
There's some ramifications.
Things go badly.
This is an Image comic series.
Yes.
This reminds me of like a Guy Ritchie-esque
for sure.
Kind of crime book.
Yep, it's a ton of fun. I really like the characters.
The art is spectacular.
The art is gorgeous. Yeah, this is my favorite book I read this week, even with Batman, even with Civil War Unmasked. I really liked Royals. Second issue of Captain Marvel Dark Past. I am not always the biggest Captain Marvel fan. I like her in theory, but I haven't liked a lot of her comics.
Yep.
I don't think you're the biggest Paul Jenkins fan either.
I'm also not the biggest Paul Jenkins fan, but somehow this story of her like digging into her past when she was a reporter at Miss Marvel.
The miniseries, right?
And connecting with Rogue
Yep.
to try and Emma Frost to do a clever how to read the memories that Rogue stole from her. And addressing a little more than we usually see the Rogue having stolen her memories and how they relate to each other now.
It's a little Christos Gagey.
A little, it is, yeah, for sure. It's somebody thinking this through. And there's the villains that are going. There's like a private military company that may have related to Carol Danvers' father, and a story that she was on, and she's working it with that. There's also the Wrecking Crew.
Yep.
So
it's an interesting...
Rogue lately, between this and the Rogue miniseries that's about her past kind of catching up with her, and she might have killed somebody and all that, and I guess we find out that basically it was a point where she had taken Sabretooth's powers and, his drives, and she, like, killed somebody seemingly, or did something terrible to them, like, really scarred them up. That they seem to be a little bit of a concerted effort to remind us Rogue was a bad guy once.
It's true.
And I think they're doing a good job of it. She's it's all stuff that's within reason.
Daredevil #2 by Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbett.
Yeah, this was one I really liked too. It's a little bit of a slow burn book. If I have like a criticism, that might be it. But Daredevil is trying to track down this new serial killer.
It showed up in Matt Murdock's apartment and kind of threatened.
Through like a window or something.
Well,
right?
he said that Matt Murdock would die.
Right.
And so
there's a sort of mystery as to exactly, of course, what's going on with that.
And Daredevil couldn't sense him. Like, he could not... it did not resonate in his powers. So it's kind of that mystery. So Matt is kind of falling off an edge, both literally and mentally. But it also deals with him as a teacher still, which I think is really interesting.
I like that early on he calls Foggy, and he's like, Foggy, I need you to fill in my law class for me. And Foggy has gotten lucky that day, and he's got a lady friend in bed with him, and he's like, not now, Matt. Good for Foggy. But yeah, and I actually look forward to the scenes that are him when he's teaching class, though, when Matt in class. I just like they usually do use it to have some bearing on the main story, and I like that.
And I also liked the cop stuff in this.
Yep, there's some investigation going on, a little CSI-ish.
Kind of corruption, kind of how to grease the wheels for how to get things.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Interagency politics of the NYPD versus the FBI is kind of in a weird nebulous place.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some really interesting things that Stephanie Phillips has kind
of... It's a good run that has a different energy than Daredevil has had in a little while, so I
agreed.
like that.
Amazing Spider-Man picks up after the end of Death Spiral with Peter...
Of a standalone issue.
Yeah, Peter having... I mean, he's also going back to some of the stuff that I have not read in this previous run about him in space.
Yep. In a way, it's like a catch-up issue. It's like he just got through Death Spiral. He's exhausted and a little mentally broken, to be honest.
I think he's been mentally broken for a little while.
Yeah.
But this was like an issue that kind of paused a little bit to acknowledge it, while at the same time there is still this thing. He's like, oh, maybe I can finally rest. And then there's like, he finds out that what with the mystical storyline that happened like a year ago
before this run started, Joe Kelly's pre-run.
There's a time loopish type thing that occurs that's kind of got both some elements that are kind of funny, and he's got to like quick make the loop happen and stuff.
It earned points for me for referencing Bill and Ted.
Yep.
Which I don't believe is how Time Travel works in the Marvel Universe, but whatever.
Right.
But also...
acknowledge his weird visit to space recently.
Joe Kelly is doing some weird stuff with this book. Like
weird.
His next villain is very weird.
Yep.
And his new hero that he introduces, Kintsugi, is also weird.
Yep.
I liked that, though.
I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying they're weird.
I think what appealed to me about this issue, first of all, standalone issue. Second, it kind of... I felt like had the character mentally sort of... finding a new equilibrium. We'll see if they really pay attention to that, but it seemed like that was doing that. And then I do like its unpredictability. That was actually one of the few things I kind of liked about the Zeb Wells run before, was that it was kind of nice to see some stories that weren't the expected Spider-Man moves. What were you going to say, Nick?
Well, I was going to say, I was enjoying the issue and seeing all the elements that I've seen, like in the space stuff and his new girlfriend, the weird Technarchy character glitch, the weird
that's
Venom,
and also that person,
and then the
not
weird
his new girlfriend
Venom symbiote chibi thing.
Yep, these are all people who are like hanging out with the FF right now.
Yeah,
and he visited them at the FF.
But it wasn't until it got to the is it Kintsugi, this new hero that he kind of talks with. Because Peter is having a moment. Like, he is, like, kind of, like, falling apart a little bit.
Right.
And meeting this character, it felt very kind of, like, not life-affirming, but it's also kind of just, like, a remembrance that, it's the small things. It was just a really good Spider-Man moment that I've been kind of waiting for.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool that, yes, Spider-Man is still kind of a singular character, but he is a role model that is able to kind of help new superheroes and kind of be this anchor for them, and it's all going to be fine. Maybe.
Sometimes you just have to be in that mental place just to move forward, and then you can figure it out from there.
Fantastic Four number 10, which I think wraps up
it is the finale of
Invincible Woman, the sort of a dark.
Kind of leaves it in a dark place.
It does.
Though.
It does. This is a Sue Storm who went crazy and developed like godlike powers, and they had to find a way to stop her. And it's a good read.
Also horrifying what she does to Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, I disagree. I like anything like that being done to Deadpool.
I haven't read it, but I'm going to have to support Randy on this.
Mark Spector Moon Knight #4, which I want to say is this. No, this is not the end of the story.
It should be subtitled, arc. This is why Nick likes Moon Knight. Because
it's pretty good.
Weird, cool stuff happening.
Yep.
I also just love the team that he's built.
Yeah.
It's such a bizarre little team.
It is.
That includes 8-Ball.
8-Ball.
But
Tigra.
I love Tigra. I like
some vampires.
I like the 2 vampires.
Yep.
And this one apparently has a sentient sword. I have no idea.
That came from the Asgardian thing, where it was an Asgardian drug dealer.
Sure. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the idea of what's coming for the next issue,
I guess they have
excited.
pretty firmly removed him from being just a Batman clone.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very different character at this point. X-Men #29 by Jed MacKay, which is continuing their battle against. Is it 3K? Or no, it's something called the Danger Room.
Yeah, but the 4K or whatever
they are. Yeah.
Whatever the evil beast. Essentially.
Also worth noting, this one we were a little low on the A cover. We do have multiple other covers, and including the Magic the Gathering covers, which there's a bunch of those this week. They're going to be coming out for the next
ones.
Yeah, they're
couple
styled
months.
on Magic cards.
Yep.
There's a little bit breaking my brain on these because, for instance, like the Moon Knight variant Magic the Gathering cover has Spider-Punk, not Moon Knight.
Yes.
But they've been doing those kind of things with their special variants for Marvel for like well over a decade, so it's not a shock or anything.
Godzilla Infinity War #4 continues this big cosmic story of Godzilla being taken over by the Null symbiotes. And
I haven't been reading this.
This is so much fun. It's
but what's
weird.
With the axolotl?
I
was flipping through it. I was like, "What is the axolotl?"
I don't know. Iceman turns kaiju sized and punches Godzilla.
Yep.
So
he Omega levels himself.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I'll allow it if he's
going
to fight Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh, this axolotl is a character from Jerry Dugan's X-Men Mars run.
Oh, interesting.
So it's one of his. Yeah. The Sobunar of the Depths. Apparently.
Okay.
I didn't read a lot of that stuff.
I liked where this ended up. I will say the tease, I'm like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been really enjoying these series. Absolute Superman and Absolute Green Lantern both this week. Absolute Superman is doing their Absolute Shazam, a.k.a. Black Adam.
I quite liked this issue.
Me too.
There is a brutal fight in it.
Yep.
There is also some cool stuff with John Henry Irons in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fact that when what's his name, Jason Aaron is writing, I don't know how this is all going to end because halfway, a major sort of facet of this is also Ra's al Ghul is in this, and he is trying to talk everybody down because he has genuinely reformed because of what Superman did.
Yep,
which is fascinating.
Yeah,
but then also. Towards the end of it, another player shows up, a person who has been in the book before, but we haven't seen for a couple issues, I think. And I'm like, oh, well, where is this going to go? The last page is actually really kind of cool. Jason Aaron's accomplishing in this something similar to what I was just saying about Spider-Man, which is it's cool to be reading a book where it's unpredictable enough that I do not know how this is going to play out.
Yeah, agreed. I see there's another issue of Cyclops. The best-selling Cyclops miniseries we've ever seen.
I need to read that because it has been quite good so far.
Cyclops versus the remainders of the Marauders.
Yep. He has been without his visor for the vast majority of this, and
it doesn't seem to hamper him much.
Yeah, he talked about how in the second issue or so when they start hunting him, the girl he's with is like, "How are you able to move around so well?" And he's like, "Oh, one of the first things, major things I focused on in the Danger Room was training when without sight in case I lost a visor." And so he's like, I've done a lot of it.
And it makes sense for Scott.
Yeah, it totally does. So he's actually been portrayed as both weakened but also quite the badass in this.
And then the third issue of Comics the Magazine, which has interviews with Kevin Eastman and Jean Lin Wang, the previous and current Turtles.
It's got a Ninja Turtle cover story.
Yep. There's also a bit on Seth Fisher. Remember Seth Fisher, the artist who died falling off a roof in Japan?
Oh, God, yeah.
Talking about sort of his stuff.
He was like a quirky but really amazing artist.
I'd forgotten how good his stuff was.
Yeah.
There's some looks
that's
at
cool.
here.
I like the idea of...
as always, an original Chew strip. some focus on some back issue things people want to look at. It's a good little magazine. I like it. Graphic novels. This will be... Oh, actually, before we get to graphic novels, new printings. Image has printed all of Assorted Crisis Events, issues 1 through 7.
If you want to...
So if you want to dive into Denise Camp's...
So the creator of Martian Manhunter.
And also
Martian
the
Manhunter.
Ultimates.
Yep.
It has
kind of
like...
weird done-in-one tales from...
There's like weird time travel or time looping
yeah.
stuff.
Well, it depends. Every one of them is totally different.
Yep.
Right. It's sort of like... I know that he's probably not the kind of person to do like a Pat Morality play.
Right.
But there's stories that examine
it has elements
stuff
of that.
like that.
I mean, basically, it's called Assorted Crisis Events, and it is indeed. Every issue is someone who's in a world that's gone through some kind of cataclysm.
Yeah. I know it's been a buzz book, and now that we've got them all back in, I kind of want to check it out more.
We got the second issue of Dork back in, so we have all three issues of Dork. Brett Bean's sort of fantasy book.
This is a fun little...
It is a fun
Part
book.
dwarf, part orc.
Part dwarf,
Part dwarf, part orc.
Set to bring about the end of the world.
All dork. Ordained, numbers 0 through 2. This is the badass fighting priest from Bad Idea. Okay, that's all back in print. Those have been selling out. And now let's talk about graphic novels and stuff.
A not insignificant amount.
Yeah, it's huge. And this is definitely not the full list. But Die Loaded, the sequel to Die from Image from Kieran Gillen.
Yep.
That gets its first collection. D&D has the Dungeon Masters and Players Workbooks.
Okay.
Which are really cool, like good introduction of the concepts and that kind of thing. And they're these little hardcover rule notebook kind of things. We got little tiny tarots for Fallout and Supernatural. Which
they are like in little tins or something, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, they're very adorable looking. It's kind of funny to me how small they are, but they do look cool.
We have the Green Arrow Year 1 Compact Edition. This is Andy Diggle and Jock.
That's a good story. It was
really good.
It was one of the major inspirations for the Arrow series because it sort of was the first time that Green Arrow's time when he was trapped on an island and had to learn to use the bow and all that stuff.
Yep.
That was really expanded upon. Now this is still kind of a one-off story. It wasn't as big as it was like on Arrow, but some of the characters who would become notable on that show, was it China White, something like that? She was like a drug dealer, or like an opium smuggler or something. She's in there, and just in general, the combination of who's the writer again?
Andy Diggle
and the artist Jock. Those guys work great together, and it's a really good miniseries.
It is. Little Golden Books has a variety, including Cruella, He-Man, She-Ra, Skeletor, Supergirl, Captain America, Doom, Pikachu, and Jim Henson. So there's a bunch of little Golden Books.
Jim Henson, Pikachu, and they're all teaming up?
Yes.
Good.
We got the Invincible Volume 15 Digest. Continuing to get more of those. There is the Woods Book 1, also a digest form. This is James Tinian's sort of YA horror book, I think. I have not actually read this one.
Right. Yeah, one of us should definitely make the investigation into it now that we've become all Tinian fans.
Yep.
But yes, I believe it is one of his horror books that's not completely adult-centric.
The third Jeff the Landshark trade, Friends and Rivals.
Yep.
Power Rangers TMNT 3 trade paperback. The Redcoat Deluxe hardcover. This is the guy who's an immortal a British immortal from the Revolutionary War, and he's a jackass. This is a really nice hardcover. It's a big, almost like library edition size.
It's Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch,
and Brian Hitch, yeah. Supergirl's Family Vacation, which is a YA Supergirl. We got from the creator little signed book plates that are inside them, so you'll have a little signed edition if you get one.
Cool. Nice.
TMNT Compendium Volume 1. This is the first, I want to say, 30 issues of
the
IDW's
stuff?
No, the new stuff.
Oh, the new stuff. Okay.
IDW's sort of. I just started reading this. I got like 5 issues in. I forgot that they completely redid the origin.
Oh, okay.
To sort of ditch the Daredevil aspect of it and that kind of thing. And I kind of miss it, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I get why you did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally made sense. I was actually trying to remember, Nick, do you recall on the 90s cartoon, or like late 80s, whenever it started, the famous Ninja Turtles cartoon, was the origin still basically the same there?
I thought it was basically the same.
Like, there's no... they probably were a little bit vaguer about the kid who saved a blind person from being hit by this truck and the chemicals that spilled out. They probably were a little more vague about linking that to Daredevil.
I think so.
But yes. Yeah, Randy, I've read those issues, but not like since they came out, however long ago that was.
Yeah.
15 years, another one of those ones. I came back when they hit issue 100, and Sophie Campbell took over, and I really liked all that storyline. But yeah, there's some really cool lore that they invented for these, while at the same time, it seems like they kept... they made sure that the turtles were still that kind of playground that could accommodate anything. We're gonna go into space. We're gonna have a cool ninja-centric battle stuff. We're gonna fight monsters. They could handle all of those.
We have the Transformers Volume 5 trade, the new Energon Universe Transformers. A deluxe hardcover of which Atelier?
I think
Atelier?
So. Yeah.
Atelier.
Whatever
it is. It's just come on anime on like Crunchyroll or something, so people are really into this. It's a magical world book. This is a really nice hardcover version of it, kind of akin to what they've been doing with Berserk. And
it is very pretty looking, yeah.
And then X-Men: Age of Revelation, the one that was the future where Cyclops was sent, and everyone was a mutant or they were dying. That's collected in 3 trades this week.
Oh, cool.
They unleashed them.
That, I believe, is all for Comics of the Week. Like I say, there's definitely stuff we didn't cover. It's a big week. But we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about some trailers. All right, we got a couple trailers to discuss. Let's start with the one I think we all liked, which is Resident Evil, the teaser for Zach Kreger's 3rd movie.
Yeah, it's interesting because, it's not like one of those trailers that I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. No. It's only because it looks so unusual, and of course, what I know of his track record with Barbarian and Weapons, 2 of the funnest horror movies I've seen in the theater in years and years and years and years.
I think for me, I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan. I didn't play the video games. I don't have a huge fondness for the Mila Jovovich series, but so the only thing I was like, is Zach Kreger going to be able to do something interesting with this property, or is this going to be his Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone?
Right. Or some kind of weird, mainstreamy, normie sort of thing, and it doesn't look normie.
Is it his one for them? And it's not.
Well, he always takes an interesting POV.
Sure.
Right. But that's it seems like he wouldn't have accepted the job otherwise, and they did say early on, basically he had total control over this.
This is why I need to see this trailer, because I'm like, is it going to give me the sense of, I can't wait to see this movie? And that is absolutely what it did.
So what is a little bit weird is, and I know he pointed out, just real quick, that the T virus, the thing that gives most of the causes most of the weird mutations,
created by Umbrella.
Especially in the first game, and I guess in other ones too, didn't just make zombies. It also makes weird creatures. There's the original game had these things that ran along ceilings, the tyrants. Mm-hmm. It had a giant shark in it.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah, there was a giant shark.
That's right. There was a Lady Dimitrescu is from that, right?
No, that's actually a later game. But
I mean, it is Resident Evil.
She is from the series, yeah. And in the first game, there was also a plant monster.
Yeah.
Remember this? Yep. Even weird monstrous ravens and wolves. So I don't know what all is going to happen in this one. It's structured kind of like a low-key indie horror movie.
Yeah.
And everybody is saying that this guy looks like a guy you find as a dead NPC in your average Resident Evil game.
But it seems like it's somebody traversing through wherever.
It's like he found a town where the shit had gone down.
Yeah.
And he's just like a regular dude.
Yep.
In fact, he
And it's all the whole.
It's the trailer is is it snowy? Is it cold?
Yep.
Yeah. He stumbles into a house. Probably looking to use a phone, maybe get some shelter or something like that. We don't know exactly what happened to him, but
and him trying to call his girlfriend to
it's
kind of apologize.
Is it an empty house?
Yeah,
he's
well, he doesn't think it is, but for all intents and purposes, it is.
He dials on an old rotary phone. Mm-hmm. He dials his girlfriend. And he's leaving a message for her. That's kind of this, hey, sorry about the thing earlier.
Sorry, we got cut off.
Yeah, we got cut off.
I'm calling. I don't know if I'll be able to call later because I'm in something and the shit has hit the fan. Something along those lines.
Yep. I love how understated it is. There's just the barest glimpses of it. There is a some giant kind of monstrously fat guy in the shadows that looks he looks monstrously distorted.
The thing that got to me was
the arms.
The arms coming out of all the various parts of a door.
Right, you see a door, and you see like kind of in that sort of fast speed that you might associate with like the nurses in Silent Hill and stuff like that. You see an arm or two come out, these weird looking arms on either side of it, but then suddenly they're like on the top and bottom of the door, like there's some spider arm thing in there.
Yep, it's creepy.
And that's really about it. And it's so overall minimal. That's what I like about it. This is kind of in keeping with his previous teasers, or trailers and stuff. What was it? Barbarian. That was one where I thought a very good trailer that showed almost nothing. It just showed the stuff that gets the movie going, which is a double-booked Airbnb on a rainy night.
Yep.
And a question of, is this woman going to risk, staying when the guy offers to share the place with a guy she finds a little bit weird? And you're like, oh, where's this going to go? And you probably couldn't guess from that where the movie does go.
Nope.
Weapons had a similarly minimalist trailer. Nick, do you kind of generally watch new trailers when they come out, like the second, third trailers and all that?
It depends. On this one, I don't know if I will or not, because I'll
be tempted to watch it, but I know I'm going to see
I've listened to interviews with Zach Cregger. He's a very interesting guy, and he definitely doesn't take anything willy-nilly. He has a vision that he wants to do. He usually writes it with either by himself or with his writing partner. And it's just, he has a level of craft that I think is unusual. It is kind of a Jordan Peele-ish kind of thing.
Like Weapons was actually very tightly constructed. Like, this like very
interwoven stories.
Yeah, wheels within wheels.
So I don't need to see anything else.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything else.
I feel like he's got me with that, whatever he does.
Now, this is not going to in any way prevent me from seeing it, but there is a part of me that's like, well, if you're not doing some of the trappings, Umbrella Corporation, the Stars team, Raccoon City, all that kind of weird stuff, why make it a Resident Evil movie? Why not just do some weird horror movie in a small town?
I think there probably will be.
I think there'll be some nods. I think so too. I think we won't see it.
But none of the Resident Evil movies that have come before it has done anything.
No.
Like, every single one who have tried to blatantly use all those trappings has failed. And
it basically became a weird sort of cult movie vehicle for Mia Jovovich.
I mean, the best one was the first one.
Yeah.
The one they
had
did
one or two homages. It had some zombie dogs and stuff. I did read some reviews that were coming out of like early screenings that I think in Europe or something like that, and there was somebody who said, and I don't know if this is true or not, that it felt like it wasn't like any known Resident Evil story, but it felt like it could have been DLC for a Resident Evil thing.
Okay.
And if the DLC was random normie guy wanders into Raccoon City or one of the places where an umbrella thing has gone wrong. I do really like sometimes that's kind of almost the appeal of most horror is random normal people being thrust into just terrifying situations. But this looks like it's also going to have some of his trademark humor and stuff.
I mean, this is the same guy.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
the same guy who, in the interview I listened to, was like, I have an idea for a DC movie. So, I mean, he doesn't just do horror, but I think it was something Gotham related.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe
this I do see this comes out in September, which is close to my birthday, so I'll take it. I feel like Zach Cregger movies are going to always be kind of an event for me.
Yep.
Till he screws one up, which he will eventually.
Yep.
Maybe this will be it.
We also saw a horror movie trailer for Evil Dead Burn, which is the third in this new rebooted Evil Dead series, which I'm not sure if they're continuing on or if each one is different.
I feel like they're different because one took place in a high rise.
Yeah, one took place at like a lake or something, right?
Yeah.
But I think they did tie in some way. So, Evil Dead Rise was by Lee Cronin, the guy who did that Mummy movie, which now that makes sense. This is a guy who likes sort of gross out horror.
Yeah.
And I do not. Evil Dead Rise I liked, but I don't know that I've never gone back to watch it again. And Evil Dead Burn, it says third standalone entry, and it is directed by Sebastian Vanacek.
Yeah.
Who did... I don't know any of these movies.
So I recognize Infested, and I want to say it was a foreign film.
It's a French movie.
film. Yeah, and I've heard good things about that one.
Okay, all right. Looks like he's done a lot of short films and stuff.
So, so you liked the previous one in this series, Randy?
I did, but again, it's so gross out. It's got so much like visceral, like people being stabbed and torn apart, and it's not my brand of horror.
Right.
And so I liked it because it was well done, but it kind of like when I was looking for the trailers for The Mummy, I was like, this may be good, although apparently not, but I don't want to see it.
Nick, if you haven't seen the pitch meeting for, what is it, Lee Cronin's?
Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
The Mummy. If nothing else, watch that. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I thought when they reinstated the Evil Dead series, I hated the first one.
Yep.
The second one was good. This one kind of feels like, it looks like it's bordering more on that first one where it's a little too dark. Evil Dead, there should be not zaniness, but
almost zaniness though. It's
well, do you know how Zach Cregger movies are?
Yes.
There is a level of, like, sometimes big laughs in them, crazy things that happen. The finale of Weapons will have a lot of people laughing. I was laughing.
Oh, I was too.
And yet it was still intense and emotional, too.
Yep.
I feel like if you...
So, like, in a way, he would be perfect for it, but I also kind of don't want him to do it.
I feel like if you remove yourself from what that template that Sam Raimi, or at least that tone...
Yeah,
that you remove yourself so much from you.
Then
why make it?
Right.
Why make a hate-fueled Evil Dead movie without the over-the-top zombie? Why am I Deadites?
Yep.
Over-the-top Deadites. You know, I want to suck your soul and all that.
Where's the good, bad? I'm the guy with the gun.
Right. Give me some ash.
Yeah. It's that is a hard thing to replicate, which maybe means that, like, they never should have gone past was Army of Darkness.
Right.
But I know that these have their followers. Yep. At some point, I kind of feel like I might at least see the previous one in the series. It is, I think, that's the guy who directed Alien Romulus. I think Fede Alvarez.
Yes.
Yes.
This was good. I think Rise is actually good.
Rise was the Lee Cronin dude.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Lee Cronin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one you hated, Nick. I believe is
the one I hated was
is Fede Alvarez.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I was blurring them because I haven't seen any of them.
So that is Evil Dead.
And I guess I don't have strong like you, Randy. This isn't my particular brand of horror.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure exactly what my brand is, but sometimes it's psychological horror. I like ghosty shit. I like weird hauntings, aliens.
Yep.
But kind of like ultra violent stuff, not or ultra gory. I don't mind some incidental gore. Down with. And even like certain movies that are known to be kind of gory.
But gore porn.
Well, but like Sam Raimi has a certain sensibility that worked with the over the top gore and the humor, and I think this is just kind of humorless. Yeah, and it makes them no fun.
You know what I just watched the other day, which also kind of falls a little bit into that version. I said the other day, some months ago, I watched a revival thing of what was the H.P. Lovecraft movie? Not From Beyond. The guy who brings back the dead.
Color Out of Space?
No, it's an 80s thing.
Yes. Reanimator.
Reanimator, yes. And I had like maybe seen that or part of it when I was a really young kid, and this was all of the whole thing. And there's like a very trashy but funny movie that somehow also used a retooled score of Psycho. I'm serious, like it's the actual score to Psycho slightly reorchestrated. I don't know how they didn't get sued for that. Maybe they did.
Maybe they bought the...
Maybe they did. I can't imagine that movie had money to throw around, but who knows?
You never know.
But it was gory and funny, and if you said that, like, that guy was going to direct an Evil Dead movie, I'd be like, I could see that. Anyway, I doubt I'll see this unless it gets great reviews.
Yeah. We got our second trailer, which I forgot we'd seen the first one, for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Yep.
Which I was kind of excited for this based on the cast, and the cast is phenomenal.
Yep.
Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, and that's before you even get to the next row.
I feel like because they're all going to be dressed up in period pieces, though that is like a powerhouse cast, that it's going to feel like I'm just watching a bunch of famous people in period costumes.
I agree, and then we saw the trailer, and I remembered, I don't like Christopher Nolan's movies.
Yeah.
It's so joyless. it's
kind of
so
sun-bleached
dour
and dark.
and dark. And
Nick, where are you?
I like his movies. I think.
Did you think this was a good trailer?
I don't know if I thought it was a great trailer. I don't know if Christopher Nolan was the perfect person to do an adaptation of The Odyssey. I don't know.
Whatever it is, he's going to put his stamp on it. We know that much. That I feel like I'm sort of surprised the trailers don't look better, to be honest. That they don't grab me. I feel like visually they look a little bit old hat, almost, and a little bit like there's nothing sort of special.
I don't want to simplify it to this, but it is kind of how he works. He works with guys in rooms talking.
Yeah.
This one has an element of the fantastical.
Yeah. Well, so did Interstellar. So did.
but Interstellar sucked.
But everything he's done,
I guess Tenet
and what's the one? That's the one that I actually
for sure the big one.
What's the big one of the dreams? What's it called? Inception.
He works well with action and can visualize that in an interesting style. But when you're dealing with mythological stuff,
I don't know that it's that different though, because like I say, Inception, Tenet. And
but this has big giant suits of armor and trolls, and
those are
they feel.
He feels out of place in a retro setting like that, or like a fantasy setting.
It feels dull.
Yeah.
When you see that, it's kind of dull. And you're like, well, that should look cooler.
And honestly, even those suits of armor that look like sort of giant animated suits of armor that I don't particularly remember from the Odyssey, but maybe it's some. People always forget this chapter, and I made it cool, or whatever. But maybe it's an invented sequence.
It's the Tom Bombadil of the Odyssey.
It's the Tom Bombadil of the Odyssey.
The giant spider of the Odyssey.
I was like, that looked kind of conventional.
Yeah.
A little different. Like, it wasn't super kind of showy in the way it was filmed. Like sometimes people get with their special effects when they're doing Lord of the Ringsy stuff. But yeah, I didn't get great vibes.
It looked lackluster to the special effects and visual dynamicism of Oppenheimer.
So which was just about Scarlett Johansson in another one of the scenes.
Not in this one.
Who was the person who had blonde hair?
That's Anne Hathaway.
Well, no, she was
Charlize Theron.
Okay, that's who that was.
So I'm gonna say, as I look at IMDb right now, I should not be more excited about a Street Fighter and a Mortal Kombat 2 movie than I am the Odyssey, and I am.
You know what? There was a line in this that I liked, and I feel like I'm almost certain to see it just because I like mythology shit and seeing his craftsmanship applied toward it, even if it's not how I would have wanted it, is interesting enough to me that I'll probably want to see it.
Sure.
But what was I going to say?
I don't know.
That I was going to see it.
I'm not excited for it.
Not particularly excited for it. One of the lines I liked in it, though, was when he said something like, although this is, again, kind of conventional, he said, nothing will stop me from getting home, and he's like, not even the gods. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I kind of like that.
It's a good line.
That line, but it's also the kind of thing I would expect if the director of The Fast and Furious was doing it. And honestly, the suitors or whatever that, kind of eat him out of house and home, while his wife and sort of timid at first son are trapped home alone, they felt a little kind of over the top, and they're making fun of the son, and obviously is abusing hospitality. That's a big no-no in Greek mythology.
It is. Yeah.
And we kind of, anybody who knows the story knows that these guys are going to get wrecked in the end. And I've that's cool and all a little bit. I'm sure it'll be satisfying, but it looked a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
I was just I don't know what should have been added to make it more interesting.
I mean,
but
this might be Nolan swinging a miss. You never know.
No, that was Tenet.
And
actually, that was a swing, and the ball hit me right in the nuts, and I doubled over in pain and couldn't tell what was happening.
I did not like it on the first one. On subsequent viewings, I've actually liked Tenet quite a bit.
You were pulled into its Tenet inception. It inceptioned you.
It's funny. I've liked Nolan stuff less every time I watched it again.
I keep going back to it. I still think his Batman trilogy is flawed, but I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's
it has moments. Batman Begins is the best.
I disagree there.
I know you do.
It's okay. It's okay to be wrong, right? Actually, I don't have strong feelings about them, but I do think they're well-made movies, and I generally can sit down and start watching them and be compelled to kind of watch some more.
Yeah.
He's generally pretty good at that and stuff. Anyway, you know what? I saw a still frame. Of course, we're watching this on a small laptop when we're watching these trailers.
Mm-hmm. It's not the best.
It's not the best. I saw a still frame of the Cyclops that was a little bit more interesting. I realized, I don't know if y'all could tell this from our laptop, that its single eye looks like a regular eye, a giant eye, but turned sideways.
Huh, okay.
So it is like a sideways weird eye. It is going to look weird and different. It also, I think, was eating a guy, and I think the lighting reminded me of that famous painting. Was it Saturn eating his children?
Oh, yeah.
Basically Zeus's dad eating his other brothers and sisters. Famously gory painting by that guy.
That guy.
You know who that guy is? Quick write in. Goya. That said, if it is a direct homage, I'm like, well, that's just kind of a gimmicky thing. It doesn't actually make your movie good or anything.
Right.
But I am interested to see how he does some of the weird stuff. Oh, we did see the whirlpool, which is either Scylla or Charybdis.
I think it's Scylla.
And sometimes I think people are like, will interpret it instead of being like, well, it was the... I think Homer in the original thing said something like described it as the monstrous Scylla, and it was like, well,
Charybdis is the whirlpool.
Charybdis is the whirlpool. It sounds like a monster, and I think sometimes it's even interpreted as a monster. I'm sure in Jason and the Argonauts type things.
Yeah.
But here's a big old whirlpool. Looked pretty good, but I have no idea if it'll be a good sequence.
I had to look up who Charlize Theron is playing. So she's playing Cersei.
Okay, yeah.
Zendaya is playing Athena.
Yep.
When I was watching the trailer, I still who's playing his son?
Tom Holland.
Right. It just felt to me like I was like, oh, it's Tom Holland. Oh, hey, it's... I thought it was Scarlett Johansson, but it was Charlize Theron. Nevertheless, none of them look particularly Greek or anything like that, and that could be okay. But...
Also, this is another in the series of Matt Damon getting lost and all kinds of resources having to bring him back.
That is hilarious. Yeah, was he Interstellar as well?
No.
That was Matthew McConaughey.
Matt Damon did show up in
Matt Damon's in it, but he's not.
He was a guest. He showed up on a planet.
He's not the guy going home.
Okay, I thought that they had to get to him on a planet, right?
They did.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But Saving Private Ryan and
I think that's
else.
a writer in his contract. Just I have to be lost and you have to find me.
That's because he just likes to play peekaboo on the sets.
Yes.
He's a hide and seek and peekaboo.
Yep. All right, the last trailer is a Netflix show called The Burrows, as in the 5 boroughs, that kind of thing.
Yep.
That is a retirement home, a big retirement village
with some secrets.
That might involve monsters and shit.
It looks like aliens, honestly.
Could be aliens.
Aliens
could be monsters.
This one I saw a trailer for a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, but what drew me in is the cast.
The cast is great. It's got Bill Pullman, Alfred Molina, Gina Davis, Alfred Woodard, Clark Peters. There's a few other people in there.
I thought this was a pretty good trailer.
It was.
It is.
It's just kind of... It's got that sense of, bigness, but kind of in a small setting.
I like things that are eerie, and old people can investigate eerie stuff too. It doesn't just have to be someone who is young.
Gina Davis shows up in anything.
Gina Davis is great.
I think the last thing I saw her in, I'm sure there's been something else, was The Exorcist, the TV show.
Did you watch Veep? Was that before that?
Oh, was she in Veep?
Who?
Gina Davis?
No, that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh yeah, I'm mixing up my curly-haired '80s beauties.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember seeing Gina Davis in anything since
you're right,
Exorcism.
You're right. She was good in the Exorcist TV show.
Yeah, I thought so too. This one just looks, I hate to say fun, but it looks fun.
Yeah. I can't remember, now that I know we just watched it, but is there a comedic element to it?
I think
or
there's
a little
kind
bit of light
like
humor?
A little bit of light humor.
But it looked kind of eerie, for sure.
It looks a little Old Folks Lost.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I think that sounds fun.
With that. Yep.
Or maybe Cocoon, the horror movie.
Yes, or that.
Cocoon, the Return.
Who's the Steve Guttenberg then?
Sorry,
I believe
Melina.
it's Jenna Malone. Actually, she's the young person in it.
Is Jenna Malone in it?
Jenna Malone's in it. Yeah.
Oh, is she running the thing? Probably.
So. Or maybe she's the alien. I don't know.
Or maybe she's the alien.
I think she's the daughter of one of the characters. So I'll have Melina's daughter or something. So they have the same last name. All right, that's trailers. Real quick, let's talk about a couple things that have been sitting on our topics for a little while.
Yep.
I want to mention Invincible, the show.
Yep. Randy came as a latecomer.
I have a love-hate relationship with Invincible, the show.
Well, you watched the first season.
You did with the comic, arguably.
As I did with the comic, yes.
Yeah.
Which I've never finished.
Yep.
Nick finished it, and I think really liked it.
I thought the ending was great.
So I watched the first season, and spoilers for season 1 of Invincible. It ends with his dad beating the shit out of him, destroying Chicago, using Mark's face to kill everyone on board a elevated train.
Yeah.
and I was like, this is gross, I hate it. And then I kept hearing people talk about it. Everybody loves this show.
Yeah.
And it's been doing so well. So finally got to season 4. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back and see what all happens. And I watched it. And my reaction is, this is an interesting show, and I really hate this show.
But you also found it sort of compelling enough.
So
pretty watchable.
The soap opera superheroics that Kirkman is putting into it are really interesting. Everything, the story arc of Alan the Alien and the sort of intergalactic civilization that he's part of is all really interesting. Alan is voiced by perennial stoner and producer Seth Rogen, and plays him that way. He plays him as kind of a stoner weirdo. And it's weird that he's also like the center of the moral universe in a lot of ways. And then he brings in a bunch of different characters. Every episode there's a bloody fight where people's bones get broken and kidneys get punched out and intestines get shown and blood goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's relentless and unpleasant every time. Kind of like Evil Dead Burn for me.
Right.
Like, this is not my speed. But I know that for the people loving this show, they're like, oh yeah, I want superheroes to be this hardcore.
Yep.
And I look at The Boys, which I love and I'm really enjoying, and it's the same basic idea, but The Boys is like a little more self-aware about it, a little less badass about it.
Right. Well, The Boys was always meant to be sort of acidically satirical, right?
Yeah.
Or at least that's an
And it's also smarter. Invincible's kind of a... If you told me everyone in the Invincible writers' room was high all the time, I would believe you. Because it has that vibe of like, oh man, this would be cool. Let's do that. And a lot of their shocking twists aren't that shocking. Like, it's a dumb show that wants to be smart, I think. And it wants to be edgy, but mostly I find it kind of adolescent.
Yeah.
But
that said,
yes,
the structure of like what's going to happen with Nolan and the Viltrumites and Mark and all this stuff, I want to know. And so I will probably keep watching it, even though I am sort of hate watching it.
You know
So
what's
you like the
interesting to me?
incidental writing, you don't like that it gravitates towards violence.
No, I don't like the incidental writing either. I think
Oh.
it's clumsy and crappy.
Oh.
I think the character
Okay.
stuff. I think the character stuff is really clumsy. They try to do these. They'll have a weird music montage in every episode, and they're trying to be like serious and meaningful. Or they'll have like dialogue between the characters is supposed to be like adult relationships, but none of it feels real or earned to me. None of the stuff. The emotional writing isn't great. The over-the-top violence and the tone doesn't work for me. I just want to know what happens. So maybe I should just read the Invincible Wikipedia.
Or you could read the comic.
I don't want to read the comic.
Or you could walk away from it.
I could walk away.
You know what's interesting to me, though? That this is wildly popular. At the same time, we actually had a very successful Superman movie that was a kind of almost a counterpoint to
Yes,
this.
yeah.
I'm like, it's not like there weren't... and James Gunn at times didn't, like... Push a little bit of edge into that and have some violence and
Sure.
hot girl dropped and killed a dude and stuff like that.
All for that.
Yep. What's that?
But you know what? Yep. We didn't see him hit the ground and his intestines explode everywhere.
Right.
Invincible would have followed him all the way down.
Right. There was still a sort of love of what I would guess I'd call like sort of a Bronze Age superhero mentality.
Yeah. And what's weird is Invincible is 100% in that mentality. Like the costumes and the characters. He's got a guy named Dinosaurus.
Yeah.
He's got an underground kingdom. They're like there's like his version of hell is like the underground kingdom inside the earth. Like he is doing Silver Agey superheroes with a weird like 90s sensibility.
Right.
And I kind of hate the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's like The Boys is also doing like it's like Golden Age, Silver Age sensibilities with a like a modern bloody version, but it's working better for some reason.
Well, I think Kripke is.
Yeah, I think the talent is part of it. Yeah,
the people in that writer's room are not stoned.
Yeah,
they have a.
I suspect some of them.
I'm sure some of them are, but it doesn't stop them from seeing the through line of kind of what The Boys is actually. About.
I think in The Boys the excess is meant to be like sort of shocking excess and both like kind of like I have never seen it, so I don't know, but I think I've read a bit of the comic, kind of darkly funny and also a bit of a like a jab at American culture,
for sure.
Fascist and corporate this and that.
Invincible kind of celebrates its violence and stuff, and I think that's my problem with it.
It is weird to me that, like, how many, 8 and 10-year-olds I have that are like, oh, Invincible when they come in.
Well, because what we all, when we were teenagers, we were always like, oh man, I wish Superman would kill people, but we didn't really.
Right.
We just thought we did. And Kirkman's giving. You remember Stanley's famous like never give the audience what they think they want.
Yeah.
Kirkman's like, give them what they want.
Yep.
All the sugar, all the chaos,
give me
all
what
the violence.
you got.
Yeah. So.
I liked the Punisher. I liked.
Well, so I was going to say is like I grew up on also like when I was like 9 or 10, I was reading X-Men God Loves, Man Kills, where Xavier was like also like tortured and crucified by the X-Men in a nightmare dream sequence.
Yep.
You know, early Frank Miller, early Alan Moore. So I was getting that. Now, I have to say, those guys were like the creme de la creme of writers.
Yes, yeah.
And even Frank Miller was like at his peak.
Yep.
So it was like there was some great writing amidst that stuff.
My martial law, Judge Dredd, and
But I always hear that kind of the way people tend to lens and talk about it, Invincible tends to be as like a fight show and who's tougher than who.
Yeah.
And kind of the way I hear people talk about Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I think there's a lot in common there, and it's just not what I want.
Which is why there's like even like a new Invincible fighting game,
there
right?
is.
Which makes all the sense because that's what
there's
they
going
do.
to be a card game.
Apparently. Yeah, as like a third card game. They've done several. At any rate, I think Kirkman is a good writer. He definitely knows how to give people what they want.
Yep,
like
it's true.
Invincible sells really well. Walking Dead sells really well. We're all liking his Energon universe.
Yep.
Like I don't think he's a bad writer. I just think that Invincible is clumsy and lazy and overly violent.
Fair enough.
So, and I will probably watch the remaining seasons.
Somehow it's got a sex in it.
Somehow it's got such me. I want to know what happens. And every so often there'll be a moment I like. Or like Seth Rogen's Alan is really kind of fun sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, even if something's kind of dopey, I can still enjoy it. So, I think that's what it is. Nick, you and I were going to talk about Ready or Not, Here I Come.
Yep.
That's the Ready or Not 2. Dave, you are not going to see this?
No.
You didn't like the first one.
Which one was this?
This is the one where the Samara Weaving is a bride who's just married.
It's a family that has the gaming fortune.
She's married into a board game company, and then they discover that on the wedding night, you're supposed to pull a card or something.
Yep,
and you'll play that. And you'll play that game. And the game.
Am I correct that she could have just gotten like Monopoly or whatever?
Yeah, it could have just been a game.
But instead, they got the hunt you in the house and sacrifice.
Hide and seek is the one where they hunt you down for the devil who made a deal for the success of their company.
Yes.
Yep. I found it a fun enough movie, but like it's not one that I would like particularly revisit.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's really good, and this is on the same level. It just expands the universe a bit
Agreed.
more.
And it starts literally the minute after the first movie.
It's true.
And it's got Sarah Michelle Gellar, who's great in this, as a sort of a spoiled rich girl.
Yep.
Basically the whole thing is like it expands into, instead of being just this one family,
because she basically ended that first movie as like the bloodied final girl who would survive the craziest shit ever.
There's basically this larger organization.
There's multiple families that have made this deal,
and like one family is at the top.
Yeah,
and that was
the family that she married into, and now they want to kill her to get to the top of the order of these families.
But in order to do that, they have to
hunt her
down again. However, her sister gets
her estranged
sister played by she's in all of the
Catherine something.
Yeah, she was
Ant-Man's daughter.
Yep.
Not Catherine Bigelow.
No.
Catherine Newton.
She was in that Vince Vaughn horror movie. She played the opposite.
Oh,
they switched brains.
That's right.
They switched bodies. So
yeah.
I actually really like that movie. And so, yeah, all these families kind of get together at a vacation getaway that Sarah Michelle Gellar's family
It's like a big
owns.
Golf club kind of thing, yeah.
And
the cast of characters is fantastic.
Nestor Carbonell, I always love seeing him.
It is, it has a sort of manga sensibility. You remember about Battle Royale, which is like over the top crazy. This feels a little bit like that.
It's like
here are all these crazy families.
A trashy manga that was also really good.
Yeah, but what else? I mean, we've seen this kind of like all these families come together and it's a bunch of characters. Like they've done this in other things too.
Yeah, and also we have Elijah Wood who plays the lawyer.
Yes.
That is basically the devil's representation.
Yep.
And he gets to have
like a fun role for him.
ton of fun for that role.
Yep.
But all this kind of falls on Samara Weaving's shoulders. I think she's a really good lead. I think it goes into some places I wasn't expecting, so I was appreciative of that.
Yep.
I don't think it was a perfect sequel, but it was damn entertaining.
I really liked it. I hold it up as almost as good as the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a blast. And I think it comes to video today.
It does. It is
digital today. So, yeah. So our timing's not terrible.
No, our timing's not terrible.
Dave, you've been in Dune mode for a while. You were playing the Dune MMO. You're about to run the Dune RPG.
True.
And as a result, you dug into Dune Prophecy on HBO Max.
Yep. This is the sort of, if you want to think about it as a prequel series to the movies, it is set like 10,000 years before them. Mm-hmm. However, like Star Wars stuff, when
nothing changes.
Yeah.
Is this the formation of the Bene Gesserit?
It's actually, they are already formed in it, but it's the early years of them.
Is the Bene Gesserit in any way related to Benny and the Jets?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually, Elton John was the first Bene Gesserit.
That makes sense. The bitch is back.
Now, if you're done, sir,
no, never
this is a hard enough sell as is.
Go ahead.
Because I will tell you truthfully, I tried to watch it twice and got 15 or 20 minutes in. I found the writing sort of middling for kind of what felt like it should be sort of a prestige project.
Yep.
But I ended up listening to this YouTube channel that I like, their discussion of Dune stuff, and I kind of he did his analysis of it from a person who kind of knows all the Dune lore and stuff that I don't on a deeper level. And I was like, oh, so this is what happens at the end of the episode, and a few other things. And some of his surmises about what might be happening were kind of interesting. And so I decided to give it a shot, and I actually ended up quite liking it.
Okay.
It brought me around. It starts out... Dune is like sort of Game of Thrones, right? It's a sort of feudal dark future where there's great houses, and this is all about the politics in between them. And in particular, there was this, they call it the Butlerian Jihad, where there was humanity overthrew thinking machines, which, we would definitely nowadays probably characterize as like AI kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's usually been, I think, a little bit vague as Frank Herbert talked about it, but his son wrote other Dune books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think there was made out to be more like, it's Terminator shit. Big mechs and crazy shit like that. And you do actually see that in the opening 5 minutes of the movie. You see the Butlerian Jihad, at least a few glimpses of it. And
Sorry, I can't help but you say Butlerian Jihad, I'm just like, it's a bunch of butlers.
You know what? I actually found out for the first time where that came from. Apparently, there's some book that was written in the 1800s that was the first book about the possible dangers of artificial intelligence.
Huh.
It must have imagined clockwork mechanized people that have become overthrown their human masters or something.
Okay.
And it was written by Edward Butler or something like that. So that's where it was. Yeah, I used to I never knew what it was from, and I was like, is it because the robots were our butlers?
Right.
And no, but that's just the name of the guy who did that.
That makes sense.
Deep cut from Frank Herbert back in the day. But anyway, the lead character. So the Bene Gesserit are this sort of sisterhood that's kind of their weird force, group in this. That are always, they're political maneuverers. They learn to train their mind and body to do almost superhuman, sort of borderline psychic stuff. Read the future, tell when people are telling the truth. They have that thing, the voice, in it. Early on in this, there's one of them in an episode where she is going to, one of the sisters who's our lead character, because it's about two of them who are literal biological sisters,
okay,
who are kind of one who's very sort of ambitious, and one who seems like the support role sister,
okay,
who's maybe being dragged along and not sure about some of the machinations of her sister.
Okay,
now, there's a whole bunch of other characters from the different houses, but those are they're at the heart of it. And but at one point, one of the other sisters at the thing is like, I'm going to expose what you're doing. I don't like your ambitions. I think you're changing what the sisterhood is about. And she's about to walk away and go expose her. And she does that, use the voice, and she's like, stop. And the sister stops, and she's like, turn around. And she turns around, and she's like, take out your knife. And then she's like, drive it into your throat. And it's a pretty shocking moment. What's interesting is it sets up a sort of mystery. She kind of covers it up. And is able to.
It sounds like the mystery's been solved, Dave.
She has ascended to it, but what happens is other people walk in and they see that it looks like she's killed herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's actually things weren't quite what they look like there, and only in the final episode, which is only 6 episodes, do you actually a bunch of stuff comes together in it, and it's pretty satisfying. So along the way, you see their training, this sort of monk-like training, along with like, even though it's futuristic and there is like. They can't have computers and stuff. No thinking machines at all.
Right.
Even their like spaceships and stuff. That's why they have to have like mentats and guild navigators who do the spice. But like Arrakis is already a thing. Even 10,000 years ago, there's still spice issues there. There's even Fremen attacks and stuff like that are part of it. The Emperor is another major character in it. He was played by Christopher Walken in it.
Yeah.
And this is like, we know that his family is destined to rule for that full 10,000 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is wild to think about the time spans. But the Emperor is sort of beset on multiple sides in this. There's schemes against him. He's got a truthsayer, a Bene Gesserit in there. They're all always trying to angle things their way. And in a way, they're always pulling the threads on people because people want them so much as advisors and abilities to tell the truth because they can discern who's lying to them. But what sets this sort of major plot in motion is two things. One is that there is an active rebellion who feels like the Imperium sort of and the Landsraad, the noble houses, hoard the spice and basically keep everybody down. And so they're planning to like assassinate him. And then there's a guy who, in the first episode, is this kind of quirky, weird, sort of hot-looking dude who looks like an off-kilter... who's the guy who played Thor?
Chris Hemsworth?
He looks like Chris Hemsworth with a little bit of like Christopher Walken to him in his weirdness. He's got something off about him. And he was one of the soldiers for the Imperium on Arrakis, and he seemingly died. They even see this from like a satellite photo, was like devoured by like a sandworm. Like the Emperor goes and watches it from a satellite view. But yet the guy somehow survives. He doesn't quite know how he survived, and it's one of the major mysteries of the show. And he has these weird sort of power, which there's a question of whether the Emperor will use it, whether his wife might force him to use it because she's sort of manipulative herself. And he's a very interesting antagonist. He definitely doesn't like the Bene Gesserit. So it's about this guy with the weird powers who doesn't. It's not one of those obvious ones, like he's not using Bene Gesserit powers. It's not obvious what his deal is, although Dune readers will kind of guess, oh, is he this, is he that? But it is about their sort of chessboard moves. At the same time, the sister Valia, she's actually Mother Superior Valia by the time the story gets really going, the one who killed the other person to take her spot. She's a Harkonnen, and she feels that their reputation was like slandered during the Butlerian Jihad by the Atreides. So their feud goes way, way back. And the idea is that I think that they were like accused of like cowardice then, but it was like may have been propaganda.
Sure.
And so you see her return home, where she was kind of an ambitious nobody once upon a time, and they're on this ice world. Where they're sort of doing a meager living, but she was their one shot, but she's considered an ambitious, dangerous, proud woman. They call her a witch and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a lot going on in the series, and the writing didn't quite seem up to it at first, but over time I saw that there's actually some pretty strong, there's good plotting, and sometimes strong writing. It actually sort of reminded me of the movies. Like, you wouldn't say, oh, amazing scripts.
Right.
But sometimes they're pretty good. You know that bit when he's like, when Paul's dad is talking to him?
The only good line in all the Dune movies?
The only good line in all the Dune movies. That
line got me to watch the sequel.
But I'd argue that there's some other good ones in there, and also some like great roles like Javier Bardem as Stilgar and stuff like that. And I feel like they accomplished that. And there are enough characters, like there's the young daughter of the Emperor is trying to decide whether she wants to go and train with the Bene Gesserit. And the Emperor's like, well, I don't want you to do that, but she wants to do that. They want her to do that.
Is there anyone named as cool as Duncan Idaho?
There's no like super weird names, I think, but they do follow the weird naming conventions.
Is this original stuff? Was this based on the books from?
Oh, by the way, Olivia Williams, y'all know who that is, right? She plays one of the sisters. She's the more demure sister, but she has some pretty cool secrets to reveal herself.
The showrunners of this are a pair of women. One of them worked on Medium and a couple other like procedural type shows.
Yeah.
The other one worked on Alias, Lost, Almost Human, and Fringe. Like, that's the sci-fi. So they blended, like, procedural and sci-fi writing, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Desmond Hart is a charismatic soldier with an enigmatic past who seeks to gain the Emperor's trust at the expense of the Sisterhood. That's the guy with the weird power.
Okay.
He is I think, actually a strong antagonist because he's, like, not... He doesn't quite seem all there, but he's all there. But he's, like, cagey, and he does seem crafty. Anyway, I liked it. I think it's a niche show. I don't think most people are going to like it. But I think if you go through that first episode and then, like, and if you have some Dune interest, if you at least like the new movies, there is a solid chance you will dig this.
Yeah.
And I would say give it an episode or two to get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I obviously I am watching it when I am, like, immersed, so I can run the role playing game in Dune. And so I'm not a completely objective observer, but I'm semi-objective.
All right, that'll wrap it up for us this week. We'll be back next week with more All Things Considered, hopefully.
Yep.
And until that time, yo, Joe.
Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.